So in this video, I'm going to kind of retouch on how to make a screen or a mat out of cylindrical objects. You can do this with anything straight. You could also, I may do in the future, kind of like make a bundle mat out of just grasses, which is actually convenient because you can make clothing out of it. You know, something to wear as a barrier against the elements. You can make a mat or a rug if you have like a traditional shelter or even just a tent and you want some flooring on there. You can gather grasses and bundle them up and twine them. So really, that's all it is. So you'll need a bunch of straight objects or whatever. These are just dowels from the craft store. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. I've got 19 of them. Yeah, I'm off by one more for 20 even, but this is about the size and the shape of it. So we're looking at 6 1/4 wide by 9 inches long, approximately. These are approximate numbers because not all these bowls are even. I just tried to make it so. You'll need some twine, cordage, whatever cordage you have, whether it's natural or, and this is natural, but it's just already pre-made for me. A big spool of twine or jute will work. I'm using a pencil to mark out the line so everything is straight for me. You can eyeball it, and then the sharp object to cut your twine and or to either groove your dowels a little bit so that the twine or the cordage sticks in there so things don't slide around, or to cut. So let's get started. Alright, so sorry I've been away for so long. This is my first video in a long time. I just took a bit of a hiatus, I guess. Wasn't very inspired. I've got some few ideas moving forward. I'm working on regurgitating and reviving a skill that I showed earlier. I will post a link below on making a screen or a mat, shades with cylindrical objects like phragmites, twigs, bamboo, so on and so forth, right? And so I've got cordage that, this is store-bought twine. It's rustic looking, as you can see. So this will serve the purpose. I think so. I'm going to make a few of these, and I think I'm going to process some more natural fibers because I do have dog bane in the garage that I need to process. And stinging nettles will be up in the spring really soon here, so I'll be harvesting and processing a lot of that in the future here. So anyway, so I'm going to get me a fairly length of some cordage here, longer than I think I need. And let's just set this aside, because what we're going to do is lay out our sticks. And forgive the background noise, it'll be alright. Let's see here. So set this down here. So I just got these, and these are just regular old little rods, dowels that I got at the craft store, but I dyed them with walnut dye, black walnut dye. So they're this color, and I think the color of the cordage will add a nice contrast. It'll be pretty when we're done. So I want to lay out, these are not going to be the same as maybe what you would harvest in the wild unless it's something like bamboo or phragmites, because they tend to be relatively straight. But if you're using twigs kind of grow, kind of wobbly, not perfectly straight, unless you want to take the time to use a heat source to straighten them. But if you need to make something quick and dirty, then it's not going to always be this symmetrical. I cut these more or less about the same length. I will kind of cut these down with my Dremel when I'm done, so we have some nice clean edges. That's not necessary in a rustic situation, but it's a nice touch if you're able to get equal lengths. So in the meantime, what I am going to do, and oftentimes you can eyeball it, and I was watching a Japanese TV show, they were doing sort of the same thing, and they had a kind of a contraption that helped keep the branches even and straight. I can't remember the construction of it. But anyways, I'm going to use a straight edge. If you have a small L ruler, which is I'm going to substitute this as, you can use that, all right? Or you can eyeball it. Right, and the more you do this, the more you know you develop a sense for it and can eyeball it and not need to measure stuff out. But I want these as even as possible because that's why I'm doing that. And then I'm going to take my my edge here and kind of make a fold and line it up with the top. These are relatively straight. Okay, about that far apart, and I'm just taking my pencil and I'm going to kind of mark them. All right, just what the heck? There goes my pencil. So that's stupid. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. We've got more like a architectural pencil. I like drawing with these as well, but what happens is the tips tend to be brittle. So anyways, I'm kind of lining this up. I just want to make a light mark, and then I'm just kind of do that, right? And just enough. You may not be able to see it on camera, but for me, I can see it. This is just kind of an aid to get started, and this will help kind of line everything up once we get going. So we're going to start from right, middle, left, okay? And I kind of wanted a nice square shape, so we'll be doing a lot of cutting, at least on this side here. So next, what we'll do is we'll take our cordage, and again, this is going to be longer, way longer than what we need, right? This is way longer, which is fine, okay? So what I'm going to do is I want to loop this on one of these, right? So I'm going to set these aside, right? And they all more or less have the mark, so I know approximately where I'm going to fit this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a loop it around like that, and all I'm going to do is just give it one twist, like that. Just giving it one twist, not two, just one, right? And then I take my next twig or stick and line it up, find my mark. Yeah, there it is. And then give it another twist, like that. Okay, and you can kind of cinch this up. So it has to be, the tighter you get it, the better. Okay, so if you reviewed the previous video I did on this, I made a larger screen. I'm actually going to redo that because the stitching, the looping is not as straight. It's actually kind of sloppy. So I'm going to redo that. I use it as decoration in my house, but every time I look at it, I'm like, ugh, I need to redo this. It's not good. So that's kind of the inspiration for me doing this video now. So all I'm going to do is just kind of continue to insert the little dowels here, find the line that I made, give a nice little twist. Okay, make it tight, cinch everything up nice and tight. Okay, that's the key. Alright, so on and so forth. Talking about this is a historical little presentation they're giving there if you're listening to the Japanese in the background. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. And there you go. So this is what we have so far. And I'm just going to finish this up. But make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, I've got my last two dowels, and I'm going to be inserting here to finish this side. And by the way, I wet the cordage a little bit just so I can get things, cinch things really tight. Okay. Alright. And at the last one here, what we're going to do is make this tight, and then we're going to basically just do a double overhand knot. So just like tying your shoes, I'm just going to pull this through, make a loop. Make it tight, and then I can do it one more time, just make sure it's tight. Alright, and then do it again. And then there. So we've got, and these are still kind of loose a little bit, but that's okay. Make that nice and tight. Now what will happen is you can finish this and make it nice and even with the tassel, or just make a tassel out of it. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go into the middle. Probably right about here. I'm eyeballing it, right? Or I can take a ruler, and I think I have enough length to make things, symmetrically even. In fact, that's what I'll do. Alright, so I'm just taking my ruler here, and I'm going to go from this end and just kind of go in about 4 inches. Alright, so I can kind of mark this here with my pencil. Again, in a rustic situation, you're looking for function. It doesn't have to be precise, right? Again, that's why I call this channel, my moniker is the Urban Aboriginal. And you can look up what Aboriginal means. It has nothing to do with the native peoples of Australia. It's a word that means to be natural in place. So I'm a country boy in a way. I was raised up in the country a little bit, but right now I'm in an urban setting. I don't have a homestead. I don't live in the country per se like that. But there's things you can do rustically in the city or in a semi-urban scenario or place. You don't necessarily need to be in the woods. Alright? So what I'm going to do is mark again from here. You may not be able to see it, just to get the measurements out of the way. And again, this is somewhat precise. It's just going to, visually it's going to look even, right? So that's like 1/4 of an inch from the very end. I can kind of mark that. That's where I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut these so that they're nice and even on both sides. I'm just going to make that mark here. And what I'm going to do is take my Dremel tool and just kind of cut through each one of these. Make it easy. Make it quick and fast. Alright, so now I've got my mark. That's going to be, got my marks. No, not quite yet. So I want to go on this other side. Okay. And what I'm using here is a little model of a castle from Japan. I guess Himeji Castle. Okay, now what I'm going to go do is I'm going to cut off my tassels here. I'm going to string here. Again, I could cut it all the way flush. We'll see how it looks after. And so now I think I have enough cordage that I can loop around and still have plenty left. And then for the last one, I have this. That's about approximately the same length. So it kind of came undone on me, so I'm going to take this and just kind of roll it a bit. Should make sure I find the right way, the right twist. Get the twist back. There it is. Because I wetted it, it came undone a little bit. Alright, there it is. So, same sort of deal, except now I have my mark. I can go here, find the middle one, do my twist. Like that. Go on to the next one. And then find my twist. Okay, and you can, when the stuff starts to look like it's getting out of hand, you can kind of cinch and push things away like that. Kind of gets wrangle stuff in place. Take the next one. Right. And you can twist either which way. It doesn't really matter, clockwise or counterclockwise. In fact, if you really want to be fastidious about it, you can do one way clockwise, the other way counterclockwise. So either way it works. You're just kind of binding these together tightly. So now we're finished off. And just cinch this off with 2 double overhand knots. Now this twine that I'm using unravels quickly, and it's kind of rustic, you know. So I've got all kinds of stragglers, kind of looks kind of hairy, stuff like that. So I think I can take a lighter and kind of safely burn these off, cut these a little short so it looks a little cleaner. And then I'm going to take this and just kind of snip this off, right? So these can, all of these can go. Just don't want to cut my knot, right? Don't cut your knot. And in my previous video, because this is kind of a review video, I show you how to splice. So when you run out, you tie off your end, and then just insert another you know, piece of cordage, and then continue twisting. That's all it is. All right. So now this is what we have here, and I can remeasure this, make my marks, take my Dremel tool, and just kind of and cut them so everything's more or less straight. And then we have a nice kind of little mat, like so. The hell, you can make something like this so it could be a kind of like a pot holder, you know, to keep it off of the hot or a surface you don't want to burn. You know, or if you just don't want to scorch like that. So I'm gonna get my Dremel and we're gonna cut this off. Okay, here we go. I've got my stump here, so I'm not ruining the table. So I'm not ruining the table here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take these out. Okay, so, you know, without the Dremel tool, I could have just taken a real sharp knife or axe and just kind of hammered them down so that they're even. But again, in a rustic situation, it doesn't have to be perfect. So here we go. For the most part, it's all finished as just kind of a screen, a mini screen. That could be longer, it could be shorter, but it's just a way to tie straight objects together to make a mat. If it was even longer, if I wanted longer, I'd have to do another row with the twining, you know, just to keep everything together. I think it turned out pretty good, pretty straight. There are people, you do this enough, you can just eyeball it and make everything nice and symmetrical and stuff like that. But this is the finished piece. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.